Hello everyone, Krydex here, and welcome back to You Know What, pYanodon's Season 3. You're here and you love it, I assume. Otherwise you wouldn't be watching episode 260 whatever we're on. Alright, so I'm curious if this is unloading fast enough. Is our ash production getting too high? I don't think so. Didn't we say we can handle like 7,000 a minute? I don't actually remember what my number is. Let's see, this can handle 50, 60, that's 110. But I've only got 2 belts, so I've only got 90. What's 90 times 60? That would be 9 times 6. Which is only 5,400. Oh. That is not as big of a number. Okay. We're still okay. But it's getting close. Pretty soon we're gonna need probably another train. Because the unloading rate here is also exactly 2 stacked belts worth. So these can't even unload any faster than these 2 belts can run all together. Until I have red loaders, which are coming soon, actually. On that note, for red circuits, don't we need hydrogen peroxide? We do. So this hydrogen peroxide is a big part of getting to red belts. So that's part of why we're doing it. We did unlock salt and salt accessories. I put that on the to-do list as well, because that's part of stuff. And we're gonna have to deal with lime and slaked lime and all that. So there's a lot going on here. But for now, let's finish this part out, because I think we can make it now, right? We have all the things we need. What we don't have is an iron oxide setup. We're gonna need just to straight up make iron oxide from scratch and supply it at low priority. So, I don't think we can make pyrite easily. Let's just take a glance at all these and double check that there's not more of them. Product, coarse fractions, way too low. That's way too low. Rich dust, way too low. I mean, these all are tiny amounts of iron oxide, but it's certainly not like a main thing. Yeah, nope. Nope. Okay. So yeah, those are really the only 3 ways to make it. And then pyrite. Yeah, we'll get some pyrite as a byproduct of our phosphorus pentasulfide. We already looked at that, but otherwise you use the iron oxide to make the pyrite, not the pyrite to make the iron oxide. So actually, wait, what is... Okay, it consumes more than it produces. I wasn't sure if those were equal, and that was just a way to turn sulfur into acid gas, or what? Doesn't sulfur already turn into acid gas? I need to remind myself how sulfur works. Never using that recipe. Yes, but we need refined syngas, or, in this case, Fawogian oxygen. One of the best turds, for sure. We're probably going to nerf that at some point. Don't tell them I said that. Okay, so anyway, we don't care about acid gas here. We care about iron oxide. So we're not going to make that version, so it comes down to nitrobenzene, or twice as much iron and a crap ton of chlorine. That's like a lot of chlorine. A disturbing amount of chlorine, in fact. But we could use byproduct chlorine. I don't know if we have byproduct chlorine in a lot of places, but it is a byproduct in some places. Though not a lot of places. Not as many as I thought, actually. It's mostly just... I guess we can utilize HCl, break it apart with lamps. So then HCl is also counting, so HCl can turn into chlorine, and there are a lot of things that make HCl as a byproduct. So we could use byproduct HCl to turn into byproduct chlorine. I might actually do that at some point. But this would be a pretty low priority way to make it. But nitrobenzene's also not cheap, because we need ammonia. But these other things are pretty cheap, and that's not very much ammonia. So I'm actually just going to set this up somewhere. 3 fluid inputs, 1 solid input, and 1 solid output. Let's set this up first. Alright, where do we want to set this up, is the question. Ideally, it's a place that we're already inputting benzene, sulfuric acid, and ammonia, and what do you know? I think we already have all 3 of those over here, don't we? No benzene. I swear there's a place that we have all 3 of those. This has sulfuric. No benzene. Maybe over here? Ah. Oh, here's where we're making nitrobenzene. Perfect. Wait, we're already making nitrobenzene. I am sometimes a dummy. Gosh, I really gotta check, man. I gotta check if I'm making things before I just, like, throw it on a list and assume I need to make more of it. That's crazy. I was just about to make more of this stuff. Let's not do that. Oh, never mind. That's all in construction range. Okay. So we'll ramp up the potential rate a little bit there. Yeah, we've already got nitrobenzene. Okay, so then that makes this even easier. That actually makes me kind of feel like... What if we put iron oxide here? We have an empty... Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna do it. Maybe against my better judgment. Sometimes I do that. We're gonna do that. I guess I can just turn that. That's hooked up. We're gonna call this nitrobenzene. Nitrogbenzene? No. Nitrobenzene. Boom. And then we're gonna import nitrobenzene. And that's gonna give us what we need to mix with the iron. Perfect. Okay, and then what we're gonna do is we're gonna expand this to have enough slots for iron oxide. 72 more slots should be perfect. So then if we want 140 slots, we want iron to be less than 14K. And then we'll load in the iron oxide from here, but we'll also take out, you know what I need to do? Oh, this just got interesting. Because I also need the iron. I can't use the iron from the chest. It's just one of those realities. We've talked about this before. If you use the iron from the chest, then a train could come to pick up iron, and then we end up having less than we thought we had. And then the train doesn't get the iron it wants, and we got problems. So instead, yeah, doesn't reach. Instead, we'll just split the iron, and then make iron oxide, and then that'll flow back in. We're definitely going to have more iron oxide than we need. You know, I'm not worried about that part. So we just need a bunch of HPFs here. And I'll probably do like something like this. 2 squares, one of these guys. Belt in. Belt out. And then we need our new fancy power pole. Oh, now this is where it's going to be nice, is it'll allow us to use one power pole for the whole area far more often. So we need an in and an out for both. So in. What's the rate? Oh, it is 2 a second out. Interesting. Out on, that'll go onto the right side, and this one we need to go, because that will go on this, or no. Did I do that right? No, that'll go onto the right side of the belt, according to the belt. So this one needs to go onto the actual right side, which is this one. Okay. And the outputters should wow, that's slightly faster, 2.5 a second. The outputters should be able to keep up, and then that's all we do. And then we copy that a few times, and we got iron oxide. Done. That's gonna give us technically more than we can even fit on a yellow belt. Perfect. That's what I like to hear. And then this will come up and around and in. And then we'll connect power. Oh, look at that wire reach. Oh man, that is sexy. Wire reach of 18 instead of 9. That's the real power. Oh, I love it. I love it. I love it. Oh, it's beautiful. Okay, and then the output comes over here. Oh, of course it doesn't work that way. All right, and then this guy goes in. We demerge, remerge, wire this one, copy it so that it's already got the setting. Iron, oh shoot. I can't do this. I am a cotton-headed Denny Muggins. A total. Shoot. Dang. Can I fit? I know this isn't generally what we do, but I'm gonna do one of these. Oh, was the issue about train length? If I do this, does it not fit a train? I guess I won't be able to tell until it's built. We just talked about how we wanted this iron oxide to be low priority because we want to make sure we're using up all byproduct stuff first. This is a high priority station. It's priority 1. Technically, now that I think about it, now that I think about it, does this matter? Priority 1, iron oxide. All of our byproduct iron oxide is going to be priority 10 or higher. So yeah, never mind. This is fine. This is fine. I'm not concerned. We'll continue as planned. Why does this look like the wrong color? Like that looks like the I'm not getting built color. It looks like the darker blue. But it's not. I guess it's just a bluish hue on the building by default is what's getting me there. All right, we'll just do this. Okay, and then we're gonna have exactly, that is 76 slots. I'm not gonna use all of those. We'll leave a little bit of empty space here, but oxide, we'll go to maybe 7,000. Seems like a reasonable amount. Oh, that was a bad idea. The bots are going to take a year to pick up 169 iron plates. Dang it. Oh, I hate that. That's so annoying. Oh, I should have just gone and done it in person. Where am I? I'm nowhere near there. Oh well. Okay, anyway, that'll get done someday. It's gonna be a little while. There's a flood of bots that'll need to go pick up that iron. There's most of them. The snake. The iron snake. Okay, is there anything else we need to do? What I was gonna do is increase the loading and unloading a little more here. That's why I did that. Oh, that's a bad idea. This is a multi-loader now. And that will have way more than one slot of extra stuff. That needs to have one locked slot. But it is correctly wired up to set filters, right? Yeah, okay. This is set up as a multi-loader, multi-provider. But we need that locked slot, that's important. Otherwise we'll run into the same issue we had before. We actually need a train to come pick up this iron, because we didn't have a locked slot before. So if we end up having a train pick up iron oxide before this iron gets picked up, we will end up delivering some iron plates to the wrong place. Not too worried about that. I think I can trust an iron will come get picked up before that happens. All right, so that's done and dusted. Iron oxide is good to go. Let's keep working on hydrogen peroxide. All right. Now, tailings dust is a huge part of this recipe. Let's take a glance at the fancy ants. At what else uses tailings dust? So coal tiles, a weird, I guess this is mainly a recipe for coal dust from tailings. It's good to remember that that's possible. But we've already got this one. So I guess if you just wanted a little bit of titanium and tin instead of rich dust, that one was unlocked in green sci. That one was unlocked before green science. Okay, I guess the green science one is slightly better. But what is rich dust even good for? Not much. Tiny bit of chromium and some iron oxide. So yeah, I don't know. Rich dust feels like it's in a weird place in this game. It kind of feels like one of those unnecessary items. It doesn't really do anything, and it's not really interesting. It just creates trash. And maybe that's the whole point of it. It's just another form of trash that takes one step to turn into other things that are potentially useful or potentially trash. But it feels like we've already got other things that could... Anyway, I digress. I'd like rich dust to be a bit more rich in its options. Okay, right, we did look at this already. So I think that's why we were okay with making tailings dust here, is it doesn't really do anything else in the entire game except for this one, which is not unlocked into... Oh, wait, this is never unlocked? No. Wait, what? When is this recipe unlocked? It might not be. It's hard to tell sometimes with these. This is something else. Yeah, I think it might be one of those locked recipes that... I'd love Ryguard to fix this someday in recipe book. Like this is a recipe that's not actually enabled, but you can't tell because this is the baseline recipe that recipe book has decided is the baseline. And because of that, it won't actually properly tell you that that recipe doesn't actually exist. But we should be able to find it in here somewhere. And it'll be like, yeah, there's no research that researches it. And I don't think this is a turd recipe, because it would say such. So this is one for another... This is also on pyanodon's. I believe they can do a better job of enabling and disabling certain recipes with certain combinations of mod packs. I assume this one's weird. This must have been in the game and then they removed it, because this is alien life related. Maybe they removed it when they did alternative energy? I don't know, but either way, that never even happens as a recipe. So what that means is tailings dust really only exists for coal dust, coal tiles, this weird recipe for combs, and then the blue liquor. So this is it. We are using tailings dust from tailings just to make acid gas in some places. And we will provide the acid gas. I think I'll just provide it normally and then vent the rest. No, that's enough acid gas. We should byproduct that. Which then just makes me feel like we should add the whole 9 yards of the what's it called? The super trasher, because it's not that much bigger. You know, we're talking 6 more tiles maybe. And by adding this in, we allow a lot of future fluid providing over here. Acid gas is the first one. All right, and I do want to make sure we got lamp coverage, and we are going to need extending on the RoboPort. And at some point, this will be a great opportunity to plug new power poles into our blueprints, but that's not going to be today. Not today for that. All right, this makes all of our tailings dust, which all goes into... Oh, wait. What am I saying? We use the... Oh, God. Undo that. Sorry, bots. Canceled. We don't need any of that. I'm such a dingus. I already forgot that we consume the exact amount that we need. Goodness. Okay, we're running on fumes today. Let me grab some more coffee. All right, we're back. Let's do this. Okay, so the tailings come in, we process all those, and then we've got one centrifuge which is running. Someone had an interesting theory that consumption might be the amount of energy to finish one recipe, and I actually liked that idea. Let's look into that. So it said consumption is 1.3 gigawatts. Is that true? This recipe takes 5 seconds. Yeah, I think you're right. I think that's what that means. Okay, this one is 2.6 megawatts. This goes for 5 seconds at 5:17. Yep, that's it. That's it. That's it. Sorry, I don't remember what your name was. Whoever you are, you get brownie points for being correct. That's what that consumption row is indicating in Hellmod. What a weird indicator. I guess that's semi-useful. It doesn't feel that useful to me. Because it's per recipe, it's not per unit. So there's even, it doesn't even really tell you like how much power am I using to make one tailings dust. It tells you how much power you're using to make one recipe of tailings dust, which you may know off the top of your head, but you can't even find out unless you're like in the weeds looking at this, you know, and then you're like, okay, the tailings dust recipe makes, you know, whatever it is, 10 tailings, or I guess in this case, I don't even remember. So yeah, anyway, so the acid gas immediately goes into a centrifuge, and then that immediately goes into 2 thickeners, which use up all the tailings dust. And then from there, we've just got blue liquor. You know what I haven't done, folks, and we should have done this? I need to be checking each of these items for other uses. So Vanabins, oh crap. Vanabins have a turd option later for Simic. When is the Simic turd? The Simic turd looks to... Wow, where's the turd research? Is it this one? Wait, there's a lot of turd researches. Oh yeah, Simics get like all sorts of turd options. I assume it's one that says something about Vanabin's digestion. No, none of those said. Which turd unlocks? Simic's got all sorts of stuff going on. Which one of these is the one that does the Vanabins? Okay, it's not the one. It's not soon, is what I'm getting at here. Nope, none of those either. So given it's at least the stage 3 and it's not even that one, is it stage 4? Nope. By the time we need this, we're gonna have like freaking, yeah, it's the stage 5. Okay, we're gonna ignore that. So Vanabins are clear. Next is blue liquor. So we check on that. Blue liquor is used in, well, the thing we're using it for. And then blue liquor barrels are used in nothing. And we also use it in vanadium solution, which is what we're going to research ASAP. So nothing else for now. Vanadium pulp 1, I mean, surely that, yeah, it doesn't do anything else. Vanadium pulp, yeah, those are all part of the vanadium chain. Vanadium pentoxide is used in other things, I think. It is, but I don't know if I'm gonna need any of them soon. I don't think I need any of these for red science, so I think we'll have a better way to make this by the time I need it for these other things. So for now, I'm not gonna provide vanadium pentoxide to the network. All right, so I think we're clear. Clear. Clear to go on all this. So then, let's see, how do I want to arrange this? Probably like so, like so, like so. Can I fit in everything like this? No, I really can't. Yes, I really can, because I can do that. No, there's no room for power. And as much as these can reach, they can reach across? Oh my gosh. Well, I'll be darned. We actually can fit it, but is that even that useful at that point? I mean, can't I just make it one tile bigger and not deal with that ugliness? Be a little more chill here. Like this. All right, and it's 0.8 out, so we can just do that. Okay, we need 14, that's 4, 8, 12, 16, I don't care that it's a little too much. Okay, and then these two thickeners are responsible for eating all of that. We need space here because there's stuff on 3 sides, but only 3 sides. If there's stuff on 4 sides, we still would be okay here because these are on separate slots. Okay, anyway, and then the one, we actually need 2 centrifuges. I think it's cleaner like this. And then why don't I do this? Underground, this, Loaders in. Power. The acid gas. Oh, shoot. Somehow I got the wrong... Wow, that... What are the odds that that connected? I copied the wrong thing here. This needs to be this guy. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. That one's already correct. Anyway, what's funny is the tailings connected to a pipe right next to where tailings actually needed to go. Is missed it by that much situation. Okay, so then the acid gas goes up here. Doo-doo-doo. And then the input of arthropod blood. This is one I don't expect to need to expand anytime soon, so that and that. And their arthropod blood comes up on this row. Attaches there. Done. Arthropod blood done. Acid gas done. Tailings is soon to be done. That's here. Blue. Again, is it liqueur or liquor? I'm not sure what's like a more correct way to pronounce it. I'm just gonna call it blue liquor because that sounds more correct in this case, but I'm not actually sure about that. All right, and then what I'll do is I'll actually do this one, and then I'll do inconvenient. Let me put this here to block that because I'm gonna need a custom direction here. Okay. We're gonna need power up there. And I think that's it for you guys. Bing, bing, bong. Okay, this guy needs the drills. We're talking 4 a minute. 4 a minute, huh? So if I request 20 stacks of drills, that's going to be 25. That's 500 minutes of drills. That feels excessive. So I'm going to station control that because that just feels absurd. But I do need that. I do need the full train of iron oxide. So yeah, we'll just do like 4 stacks of drill heads. Even that's excessive, but at least it won't be crazy. The belt doesn't need to go that way. And iron oxide. What's the rate? 3.6. So you need 40 stacks? Yeah, that seems about right. And then drill head, say 5 stacks. Okay. And it's a little tight to put both on one belt because it's 6 iron oxide a second, but the reason I'm okay with it is we're overbuilding this in the first place, remember. This is like way more than we needed. Okay, and these are the only other 2 solid. Oh, and nickel. Nickel. I forgot about nickel. Oh no. Okay. Nickel plate. Shoot. I'm gonna expand this by like 1 or 2 slots. 72 is gonna be a little bit short, I think. Because nickel is, we're gonna need like 20. No, you know what? We might be okay. Never mind. Nickel plate. I think we can do like 28 stacks. 73, so 27 stacks. Yeah. And that gives us a few minutes of lead time there. That's all good. It's all good. And then we can put this guy closer. Might even put it like over here. Just close to the drill heads. And then we can just pipe the coal gas wherever, or the coal bed gas wherever we want. I'll just put this on its own little magical journey here. To there. That'll be drill heads. We need pressurized water, so I didn't get that loaded into our system here. Pressure pump. Pressurized water. Pump jack. Water. Nexelit power pole for everybody. And then oxygen. We'll have go here. Directly into there. And now we've got coal bed gas available on, let's say, this row. Okay, and then we turn the water, so that's hooked up properly now. Now I can delete that one. And I want to say things are pretty good now, right? Right, trains with this stop 6. That's bad. What? This has a train limit of 2. What? Oh, it's because it's not named. Gosh, that's not the first time I've done this. Okay, hold on. Is the back button gonna help me? Nope, now it's taking me to technology. Where am I? It's like the 5th time I've had that problem. All right, this is not R. This is... What is this? Peroxide. Inputs or ingredients? God, freaking... Dang it, which one am I using? Inputs or ingredients? Inputs and outputs feels cleaner than ingredients and what? Outgredients? Ingredients and products? Yeah, input, output feels better. So, peroxide input request. There we go. Done. Done deal. Okay, so those come up and over. And then I need probably another... RoboPort in this area. Oh, wow, we're already done. Blue liquor's made. I like missed that we made all this. Sweet. Okay, getting there. Coal bed extractor needs to go on the auto mall. We might finish it in this episode. That would feel good. It's always nice when we finish a whole build in one episode. I'm never sure if we're gonna get that done or not. Coal bed extractor goes in the oily things. And I'll put 2 of them in there. I doubt we're ever going to do a huge build, but whatever. It should all stack up anyway. Okay, so back to continuing what we're doing here. So that's done. And now it's just a matter of connecting everything with everything and building these. And it just feeds one into the next, into the next, into the next. So that's pretty chill. Let's get myself a wall that I don't build below, so I can just see my space here. You know, I've got a lot of empty space up here too. We might as well use that since we're just dealing with fluids now. Oh, I do need steam. Did I ask for steam? We did not ask for steam. That might have been one of the ones I counted and then miscounted later. How much power am I wasting if I just make the steam on site? Quite a bit. Like 100 megawatts. Screw it. I know it's wasteful, but I'm just gonna make the steam on site. Okay, so then let's get rid of these trees, and I will put I didn't deconstruct a... Okay, good. Just making sure I didn't decon a rail or something. Alright, and we need 4 of these. I have to space them out. And they need 60, so it's just perfect to do it this way. It just works out. The water should be perfect to do this. And I think it looks cleaner to build these. Okay, I am a huge fan of these power poles now. Though, there is going to be more of this issue. I don't love that. What's the hotkey for this again? Alt-C. I'm going to have to use that a lot more. Because I feel like I don't love how much they connect. Really not cleanly. So I'm going to do more manual connections, I feel, moving forward. Alright, so we want the back... And then we want the double inline two-way, I guess I call it. And then this one, we actually want it to go the other way. Now, here's the thing I do not know, is when I build stuff like this, is it destroying what's in that pipe or not? No idea. So that'll do. Oh, I just called it blue liqueur again. Blue liquor is here. That will be powered up there. Oh, these power poles are so nice. I mean, I would have been happy, given how long it's been since we got any power pole upgrades. I guess it's fair, but I would have even been happy with just a couple more tiles in all directions. But they gave us... I mean, what's the radius difference? They gave us 3 more radius, which is huge. And then the wire reach is double, which is, again, amazing. All right, so then we've got one of these guys. Wait, no, something's wrong. This makes the vanadium pulp stage 1. Oh, this is just turning excess stage 3 back into stage 1. So we need to prioritize. Okay, I actually have an idea for this. So this is turning excess stage 3 back into stage 1, like this. We're exhaust venting that. The coal bed gas will come sideways here. That's coal bed gas. I need to connect a pipe there. Wait, that still didn't work? Oh. I have to wait for the bots to build it. That'll do it. Okay, so then that'll recycle. And then what we need to do is have these guys top up into this, so that way there's always space for this one. Okay. Done. And then now we need the iron oxide. And there's 2 of these. I feel like we should just line them up. Okay, hold on. I'm thinking we bring the iron oxide up through here. And then we just have these 2 buildings with fast inserters. Like this. Big rock is in the way. Well, let's get it out of the way. Alright, and then put that there, and then... Oh, no, that... Okay, well, we can do it this way. A fast inserter sideways should be fast enough. And then we can just continue the channel 1, vanadium pulp 1, here to here to here. Done. And dusted. And then... You know what I might do? Just keep that belt going, because eventually we're going to need the 2 filters. Grabbing the nickel from there. And we just need a couple steps in between that. So now we just need this guy who accepts the channel 2 and ammonia. I keep calling it channel 2. Why am I calling it that? Pulp 2, whatever it's called. Vanadium pulp 2. Oh, shoot. I screwed this up. No! Oh, man. You know what? Where this water is irrelevant. So I can shift that over there. Haha. And then... Replace that. This is still powered up. And then I can shift... What did I need to shift? Oh, I just needed a pipe here. Then I can fit a pipe here, here. That one will be a double corner. Or a corner turner. Whatever we want to call those. I don't have a name for that type of pipe, nor do I have it blueprinted. And then ammonia. Woo, this is good. I'm feeling good about this build. Right, ammonia can attach to here. Bingo. So ammonia in, vanadium pulp 2 in, vanadium pulp 3 out here. And that goes into a single... Oh, it was all gonna fit so nicely. It still could if I moved everything around. Kind of want to... I would need like... Can I shift everything down 4 tiles? I've only got 3 tiles here, I think. You know what? It's not worth it. We're not going to use this space for much else. I don't think. Okay, these actually make a solid product, so we need to direct feed that. And then we need the anthracene to be connected along some route. How about that one? Anthracene's done. One's done. Oh, right. The pulp 3 is the one that gets recycled. That's the one that gets attached to here. So pulp 3 is not fiction. What we'll do is this, T-junction to here, and then turn, corner, corner, pulp 3. Okay. Attach that, shift click, Alt C, hook it up to that one. Much better. Okay, let's get a lamparino up there and over here. And then finally, I think we're basically done. The last thing is to hook these up. So we need back, inline 2-way, corner, and right. What'd I make? Oh, 10K military science. Cool. Cool. Alright, if I'm not mistaken, this is done. We have made hydrogen peroxide. Once everything arrives here, it should be running. We've already got vanadium pulp stage 1. We're still waiting on this because I didn't do this part. Nope, I don't even need any of this. I just need that belt to turn. And that can all go away. And that'll do that. Build a lamp there. And if I'm not mistaken, we can then provide hydrogen peroxide on this. And it's actually, well, it's not fully available. Where's an available, like, vertical? Probably easiest if I turn here and then go up. Also, this is a strategy I'm using it, but I haven't explained it. Where I can, if I'm gonna place an extender like this, I want to place it not underneath a crossing. It's not necessary because it would work properly by doing it this way, but it's visually going to be easier to understand what's going on, because now the icon for hydrogen peroxide is going to be floating over this empty space rather than this crossing space. I think it just makes things slightly easier to keep track of in the long run if you kind of use that strategy. It's not like a huge difference, but it'll work. Okay, well, we'll wait for the bots to finish out here, but I think we're gonna see hydrogen peroxide in the very near future. Vanadium pulp stage 2 is running. Vanadium pulp stage 3, which makes the pentoxide, is running. The pentoxide... Wait, this one's not getting stage 2. Yeah, I did that. I forgot about this. There we go. Oh my gosh, we did it. We made anthraquinone and hydrogen peroxide. Holy crap. That stuff is nasty. And hopefully we have enough tailings. That is the only fear I have. Granted, we overbuilt this, remember. We overbuilt it by a lot. And so we're not going to actually need 280 tailings for this, which is the good news. And we overbuilt it for what might have been overbuilding circuits. So we kind of double overbuilt. So I hope all of that put together means we're going to be okay. Oh wait, no. Wait, I didn't overbuild? I thought I overbuilt. Yeah, I did. Okay. It's just, it's 20 here, but it's only 2 in here. Because it's saying, it's probably saying we only need 0.1 of that block. Yeah. So in reality, it's only using 29, well, 30 megawatts, but this build altogether is actually going to use 300 megawatts if it's running constantly. Which is a lot of power, but that's fine. Yay! Now, why is this one not getting any anthraquinone? Is that just how it all worked? Oh, wait, no, I did something wrong. What? Wait, no. 3. Goes to 3. Oh, the coal bed gas isn't running. Oh, the coal bed gas has a sinkhole needed. Or we could save some power. How much do I care? You know what? We'll do this the right way. I think all of you are surprised by that decision. I think everyone was expecting me to just sinkhole it, but I didn't. So, ha! In your faces. So we're gonna do that. We're gonna delete this. We're gonna add a corner here. That, and then we need a sideways that. Okay. That's funny. I'm surprised by my own action there, to be honest. Sometimes I surprise even myself. Oh, wow, wow. We actually did it. Hydrogen peroxide. Sweet. How's power been, by the way? It picked up a lot recently because of running those centrifuges, but I think overall we're fine. I mean, look, we're having dips in even the tidal generation. I guess we could probably, you know what? We're not doing that much else right now. Let's throw in another chunk here. Throw Throw in another chunk of power, another 72 megawatts. All right, there we go. Now we're running again. Because we've got a water buffer. And now that means this is running, which is getting rid of the vanadium pulp stage 3, which is perfect. All right. Well, I think we'll have to call that an episode because we're basically at an hour, but we've got hydrogen peroxide done. So on the journey towards complex circuits, which I need to keep researching towards. I guess we are. That's what we're doing right now. Because there's still a lot of researches left to go. But we need that before we can even research red belts. So, because what I was about to say is there something else we can kind of work towards on our way there? I guess the salt and salt accessories might keep us busy for an episode or two as well, which gives us some time to research towards circuits. And there's probably something, oh, do we need Navins for circuits, or was that just for blue science? I think that was just for blue science. Was that for the nuclear samples? Or self-assembly? It was for the self-assembly monolayer, for the Parylene. Okay. Yeah, so for now, we're actually almost there in terms of being able to set up red circuits. There's a lot of micro steps, like we're gonna need to make a bunch of coal dust for the silicon. So that's a thing. I might not worry about pure sand yet, because as soon as we get the chemical side glass processing, we're not gonna need absurd amounts of pure sand anymore. And then what that will mean is we'll have all that pure sand we were using for glass will now be available. So I don't know if I need to boost my pure sand production just yet. But yeah, we've got all these silicon related things. Etching solution should be pretty chill. Now that we have peroxide, we're ready to go on that. This guy we're ready to go on, plus the silicon. I guess crushed quartz is kind of annoying. We might just crush that on site. I don't know. Zinc acetate, is that used in a bunch of places, or is that only used in the one place? Only made it one way, it seems. Zinc acetate, it's used in a few places. Specifically, Nexelit batteries. It's only made the one way. Acetic acid is used in a bunch of places, so I probably need to provide that. Well, no, didn't we just look at that? Aren't these all really late? That's a is that pi 4? Yeah, that's pi 4 science, dear goodness. That is, well, processed fatty acids actually need it. But do we need final acetate anytime soon? I might. I'll just put it on trains. Yeah, we need it for this one too. Antimony, stage 2. Okay, we need acetic acid. All right. I might make it where we make methanol, to be honest. It's a pretty short step from methanol. All right. Acetic acid. We'll start with that next episode. And then work on salt and salt accessories. Sweet. All right. Well, as always, thank you all for watching. Let me know what you think down in the comments, and I'll see you all in the next one.